Brian, just to put a punctuation on qualifying for the playoffs, tell us your thoughts on Saturday night's game in Oakland.
Yeah, like I said, we had a match plan based on some of the factors that were in this game on both teams. We knew that they were going to commit numbers forward. We knew that they were going to come in with a lot of high energy, and we thought we could take advantage of the space that was left behind, given some of their international duty as well. And it worked out, right? We were able to get 2 early goals. Maybe we could have got a third on a counterattack. And then we did a great job defensively. And we knew going into the second half they were going to commit even more numbers forward. Could we get the third? But I think our players executed brilliantly. 3 central backs in particular dealt with a lot. Benny Diaz, big-time penalty stop. So the group worked hard. It wasn't an easy game in that crowd. They had a big crowd. There was a lot on the line, and our guys handled it and got not only the tie but 3 points, which was important.
Getting out of this match, the status quo as far as health goes, does it remain the same? Everybody come out rather healthy going into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, so far so good going into this. So same guys are still out. Same guys, nothing new in that regard.
Coach Clarhaut, I know I asked you last week what it would mean to lock in a playoff spot. Now you've actually done it. Just now that you look back at it, I know you still got playoffs, but I guess what does it mean now that it's been accomplished?
Yeah, I said since day one, and I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this was the objective. And I know when we were on a big run, so maybe some of the individuals in front of me right now asked, is that too easy of a goal now that you're in first or second place? We knew that this is a long season. There's a lot that can happen. I think it's important for our club, important for our fans to show, okay, we're a consistent playoff team. And that's the expectations of our club. To be quite honest, if we did not get into playoffs, I would have been having a press conference in today telling you it was a failure of a season. So we were able to do it. We handled it with a lot of, like I said previously, a lot of different factors this season. A lot of major guys not involved. A more competitive league. So I'm super proud of the group, and now it's anything can happen now.
Just going forward, obviously locked in the playoff spot. Now it's about playoffs. I guess just what's the mentality or what's the approach you guys are taking now that you've kind of accomplished your big goal this year, but there's still more soccer to be played?
Yeah, I told the group today. I said, okay, you know what? I told them exactly what I just said in the previous answer. I said, okay, that's done now. We want to go for a push, and the objective is to win the game. It's quite simple. You need to go in and win the game. It's one and done. This is not home and away fixtures. You got to go in there, and we know it's at stake now. Just like Oakland, it says. In my opinion, we went through round 1 on Saturday.
Speaking of it's not being home and away, and that's a conversation for another day. That's something that I wish this league would adopt and stuff like that. But given the playoff structure, in the past, this club has fallen victim to having a great season, lapse of concentration, and you're eliminated. Now the shoe's on the other foot, and maybe this team can possibly exploit that system and knock out some of those kind of teams. How do you feel about that, Brian?
Yeah, it's opposite day, right? We win our games away. We don't win too many at home. So I feel good about what you just told me. So no, like I said, anything can happen. We've been good away this year. I think we set a club record for away victories. We enjoy it. We travel well. Our backroom staff does a good job of doing that. And, let's see what we can do here.
Last question for me, Brian. I'm going to address something that I've seen as far as commentaries from supporters and the fan space on social media. There's a point in time here down the stretch where it was like, well, if the team continues with, and I'm paraphrasing, obviously, if the team continues with its current run of form, maybe it's better that we don't make the playoffs, which I don't understand why people would say that, but that's another conversation. What message, now that you are in the playoffs, would you have for this fan base based off of that? I
mean, I don't know why you would want anyone to not make the playoffs, but I mean, for me, listen, fans are supporters, right? They have the right to have emotions. You know, when we don't win, we're in bad form. They have the right to be upset, right? It's good to have a demanding fan base. When we win, they're happy. That's the nature of the sport. Yeah, just believe in what we can do. I mean, I think this is a group where you can't get too down on them. You can't get too high on them because we've seen what happens. Like, we work hard, we defend well. These guys adapt to match plans, and our group can beat any team in this league on any given day. I don't know if the fan base, and some of the other media in general, if you want to learn a question, come here. See who's out. See who's injured. See what our travel's like. The whole context. It's not as simple as these guys just lost a game. There's more to that, but they have a right to be upset, but they also have a right to be glad. And I think our group did a good job for the fan base, the community, the club. Like I said, this is a playoff club, and that needs to be consistent while I'm here.
Last question I have, you've played Orange County twice, third time on Saturday. What are you expecting to see out of them come Saturday? And I guess what can you take away from the previous two meetings where you guys have had success against them?
I think the first game that we played them, they're now a different team, right? They've obviously, they ended up in second place. They turned their season around. New coach has implemented a lot of positive things with them. They have good players on the ball. When we played them away, I believe it was the first out of 3 games, because I think we went OC, Vegas, and there was one more after. Was it SAC? It was SAC, yes, it was that trip. It was a good environment. It was a hostile environment at Orange County. We defended well. They're a good team with good individuals, right? You got Milan Olowski, who's arguably the top player in the league. They have guys that are very good on the ball. I'll take a look at their last few games. I know they played San Antonio 2 weeks ago. We've looked into that, but it's going to be a good matchup, and I think it will be a good playoff game for the league.
Now, my last one, with regards to just the playoffs and the fact that it doesn't reseed, it's a fixed bracket. Just your thoughts on the general bracket, and obviously you're one of the teams, you're in it to win it. Just your thoughts as far as at least how the conference bracket looks.
What does that mean in terms of I've been in promotion relegation. It's my first playoff game in my career. So explain that to me in terms of the reseed. What is that?
Like if 7 knocks out the 2, then it moves again to where the highest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that's not happening now. It's just the way.
Yeah. So what's my thoughts on how this is structured or where we're at?
How the teams and how they are.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. That's what I think. I think of Orange County, okay, let's take care of business, then I'll look at the next one. That's my focus. I think it's interesting. I think it's from a fan perspective and a neutral perspective, it makes things interesting. It's the format of American sports, right? I like March Madness. I missed it when I was in Europe a bit, so I get it. I understand how this works. So it's there will be some upsets, that's for sure. And hopefully we're the 7th seed. Hopefully we can be the one of those to do that.